Hi. I just got done building my brand new bike, completing it rather. I just got done riding around the southern half of Lake Washington here in Seattle, and I've had a wonderful day. I don't know what time it is. Let me see real quick. Oh, I don't know. I guess it's 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I started at 11:45-ish, so maybe 12, and I took about a 30-minute break on the way. And today the Blue Angels, which is the fighter planes, were flying. There's a festival around Seattle today, the Boeing Sea Fair they call it. Every year they do that. And when they do that, they close down the roads on the western side of the lake, and so there's crowds of people and the roads are all closed to cars, but you can still ride your bike through and you can walk through and so forth. So it was a wonderful experience to ride through that and to see the airplanes going over and all kinds of stuff and take a break. Anyway, as I was saying, I just finished the completion of my Recumbent bike. I call it the Spirit of Love, and I was riding it around today. I had it painted. This is the one I built, of course. I had it painted, and put on some decals and so on and so forth, and it's done. It's as done as this bike is ever going to be anyway. I think there's a couple of little tune-ups left, like my brakes are sticking, my disc brakes. But I have ridden, I don't know, it's probably about 40 miles maybe from where I started to where I'll end. And I have no pain whatsoever. Normally after about an hour, my butt starts to hurt, my neck starts to hurt, my wrists and my back, my shoulders, but especially my lower back and my butt, right where your crotch, where your seat contacts your body. It gets really painful, and after about 3 hours I just don't want to be riding anymore. But I know that if you ride a lot, many hours a week, and you build up the calluses or whatever it is, you don't get that pain down there anymore. But I don't ride that much anymore. I only ride about 3 or 4 hours a week, and that's not enough to get the calluses or the desensitivity going on that. And so longer rides are painful for me, and just not fun when you're in a lot of pain. Anyway, I rode this bike around the lake today, and I have had zero pain at all. I think the only thing I'd like as far as comfort goes is to have a headrest pad for my neck, so sometimes I can lay my head back and rest it if I want to, and I have provisions for that, and I'll show you in a moment that, but I don't have the pad installed yet. So where I am now is at a park across the lake from Seattle. You can't see Seattle, it's actually directly behind me, and where I live is that way. I'll turn all the way in full 360 so you can see the park and everything. All right, trying to do this without dropping my bike. And the Sea Fair, you can probably hear some noise in the background where the boat races are going on and stuff like that. They were doing airplanes, and now they're doing boat races and stuff. I'm not into the boat racing. I saw some of it, but I didn't want to watch much of it. Anyway, this is the scenery of where I'm at. Okay, so let me show you around the bike. I will just show it to you, and I will describe some of the stuff, and then I'll give it, a little description of everything as we go. All right, so maybe what I'll do is I'll lean it against a tree so you can see the whole thing. It's a little hard to stand against a tree. But it can be done. Let me see, why does this thing flip around so easy? Maybe that's what that does. I've got this little stick thingy that I bought for taking these selfie videos, and I'm still getting used to it. Alright, so let's turn it around so you can see the bike. There it is, the Volk Spirit of Love. And hi, you want to be on YouTube? Say hi. Hi. I have got my backpack, my day pack on here, just sort of jerry-rigged, but it's perfect for a day ride. Oops, it's gonna fall over. Okay, so yeah, that is it. 20-inch wheels, mechanical disc brakes all around. I may change over to regular brakes, because these disc brakes are heavy, and I don't really need the power. I had put them on there originally because I was thinking I might change out the wheel sizes and so forth, and they are useful for that. You can change wheel diameter, and you can change tire size as well. So I'll go through the front here. This is the bottom bracket adjuster. This bottom bracket you can loosen these bolts here, and it'll slide up and down here, and you can see some abrasion on the paint where I have adjusted it several times to get to the ideal position, which for me right now it's pretty ideal. This fork here, I made this fork. It's 135 hub spacing in a 20-inch diameter, which doesn't exist anywhere. I tried really hard to find one to buy. What I did find was a front fork for mountain bikes that are also 135 in the front, and I had used that initially on this bike, but the wheel sizes, that's why I lowered the bike, because it was too high with the 700 wheels. There's my logo, my decals, pearlescent white on this neat metallic blue. Spirit of Love. I rode it around the lake, as I said today, and people just responded to the bike. I don't know if it was me. I get a lot of, I talk to people all the time, and I have a very friendly demeanor, and because I'm a very loving person, and people can see that in my face, and so they like to talk to me, and I like to talk to them too. So I don't know if I was riding my regular bike, if it would have been as much positivity, but I did simply ride past, and people were like shouting out, "That's a cool bike," which was neat. It was. I don't need that external validation, but when you get external validation like that, it feels good. It's important to know to not seek that, though. Anyway, so let me show you what else we got here. The handlebars. This is a Bashetta pivoting head tube. Not head tube. This is the head tube. Pivoting not steer tube either. Steer tube's on the inside. Oh, what the heck do you call this thing here? There's a head tube, steer tube inside, and then there's this. I think I must be maxed out on video or something. Anyway, the texture is sort of snake skinish, with these, or something weird going on with a hexagonal or pentagonal shape. Anyway, it looks a little bit like bullhorns or something. The texture and this twist in here from the cable is really cool. Let's see here. This is interesting because I'm going to pause because a helicopter is flying right overhead. Okay, helicopter's gone. This is interesting because this is the front derailleur. Oh, the helicopter's coming back. I'm going to pause again. Helicopter circling. This is interesting because the front derailleur, I actually built all this and I forgot to make a front derailleur mount. I completely forgot. And I was sort of thinking, how can I get around this and build a the helicopter is circling again. It goes away in 2 seconds. It's part of the seafair stuff. I totally forgot to build a front derailleur mount, and so this was a total fluke. It just so happens to fit this diameter, and it just so happens to work. That was a nice surprise. I was just going to have to build a, normally what they'll do is they'll build this little appendage off of the bottom bracket that you can, on the recumbents, that you attach your front derailleur to, but this worked out really well. This part here is the rear derailleur. Hi, sweetheart. How are you?
I want to see my sister's YouTube.
You'll have to watch it on YouTube. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Say hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Where are we located? Where are we today?
Where are we today?
No, what? Don't say what I say. Just tell me where we are today. What city do you live in?
Bellevue.
Bellevue, Washington, right? All right. Are you guys sisters?
Yeah. She's my younger sister.
Oh, well, tell me your names.
Ashley. Mia. And she's mad at her older sister.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice. Well, let me keep on videotaping now, okay? You guys can watch or you can go play, whatever you want to do. All right, you watch. But be quiet, though, because I'm talking, okay? All right, so this down here is the rear derailleur. Okay, this part here is the rear derailleur, and this part right here, of course all this is custom. I had to build all of this, built all this here, and built this thing here, this clamp thing here. This part here, I bought this just the silver hole thing, and this silver piece here. This comes as a piece you can buy as a rear derailleur mount, and I simply attached it onto the main tube here. You can see exactly how that's all constructed if you watch my video called How to Build a Pair of Bicycle Forks. I show exactly how all that is done. Like I said, I had some labels made. I like this label here. It's made in America, which is cool. I put on some, so the handlebars are obviously just, the handlebars are just normal handlebars, drop-down handlebars, and except they're inverted mounted invertedly or upside down. I put on some double tap SRAM shifters here. This is the most comfortable orientation because when I'm riding, it's like this. If I can film that. I ride like this. So I got my hand on the brake, and it's all very comfortable, nice and plenty of control, very comfortable, and it's reverse, so I have to pull it to upshift and push it to downshift. So it's a little bit awkward to get used to, but with only very little practice, it's become quite comfortable.
Is it okay if we use a phone?
Of course, of course.
We don't have a pen on the piece of paper.
That's okay. Let me do this. I'll pause. Yes.
Is it fixing a bike?
Yeah, she's
This-
very excited.
Well, face this way, all of you, and say hello if you want to.
Hello.
You'd be famous.
Hello.
Hi. This video is about you guys now. Are you guys soccer players?
No.
You look like
We're just
biking.
biking.
I was just biking too.
Oh,
Are you making a video?
I am making a video about this bike because I just built this bike.
You built it?
I built it. Can you read what that says on there? The name?
Well, Spirit of Love.
Yeah, that's my name. My name is Pat Volk. And I love people and I love myself, and so I called that bike the Spirit of Love. Isn't that neat?
Yeah,
well, wonderful. So you made by yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks so special.
Okay, I lost track completely where I was because this lovely family came over and visited with me. Why is it not focusing? There it goes. They've gone away now, but they visited with me for a little while, and it was nice. And they wanted to get a link for the video so that they could see themselves. Where was I? I think I had done the front end. I think I did the... As I'm pedaling, this is hitting the back of my legs, and it's not comfortable. I think if I were riding, 6 or 7 hours, it's just something I can fix. I can fix that to increase the comfort even further. Okay, so the seat mount. The seat mount comes, let's see, you see it okay? Trying to get the light. It comes with a clamp. Oof. Oops. There. It comes with this levered clamp. You lift this up to unclamp it, and it's got a channel here, and to accommodate that design I had to install this channel here, this C channel thing. I made that, and that piece right there, believe it or not, that piece is the most complicated part on this whole friggin' bike. It was hard to make that because you had to get the exact right width. The height of this had to be machined down exactly. I didn't want to have it be just a seat all the way because it would be harder to get good contact with the main tube. So I machined out these little grooves in here, and then I don't know why I drilled these holes. Oh, I drilled these holes in here so that I could get the braze, the flame up in there, and get a good bond of the braze on both sides. I think that in retrospect, that was probably an overkill. I probably could have gotten away with just a complete C channel. Let me pause for a moment and flip the bike around to the other side. Okay, I flipped it around to the other side. All right, let's see, what else did I do special? The seat is completely stock, except as you can see, this seat will recline down or up. Okay, I can do that on, and I do that adjustment with a unique design here. These are, of course, not unique. But what is a bit unique here is this tube that goes through the frame with a quick release bar through the middle to hold the two together. And I did it that way so that as the angle of this seat support members tilt forward or backwards depending on the position of the seat, there's these little thingies inside of here that sort of allow. You can't see all that in there. And then something I really like on this bike that I put on here is these Spirit of Life, the Flower of Life symbols. Because I'm very spiritual, and the Flower of Life is a spiritual symbol. And this bike is a big deal for me because it's the first one I ever built, and I'm really proud of it. Anyway, this Flower of Life symbols represent love and life and unity to me. That we're all equal and all one. Anyway, to adjust the seat angle, all you do is you undo this quick release here, the lever's on the other side, take this out, put it in the position you want, and then you put it back in. And you get the angle of the seat you want by sliding this guy forward or backwards, this clamp. And I've got, roughly about a foot of adjustment. And thus far I've used maybe 6 inches of travel in my in setting my bike up. In setting this bike up so far, I've used about 6 inches of travel. I got it to where I feel pretty good about it right now. One thought I just had about the front derailleur is that with the small wheels on and it being a recumbent, I'm topping out with that gear. So I'm going to have to get a larger front chain ring, rather. Not derailleur, chain ring. That's going to present some problems for me because if I get this bigger, this is going to have to move that way, and I've got this clamp here, so it'll have to move over to here. And if I move this over to here, this is not going to be long enough, so I got to think about how to solve that. That's just a technical problem. It's not a big deal right now because I'm just not going that fast. The other unique thing here is obviously that you may notice on the back of this bike is a front fork. That is just a normal front fork. You can buy those, but I built mine. I built mine so I'd have the same design on the front and the back. I had to build that one. There's no question. I could not find that anywhere. I had to build that one. This one I didn't have to build, but I did. And I built them so that I could paint them and have them all exactly the same. And plus I wanted to, build it, not just buy it. So I have a lot of satisfaction in having built it. It's got a pearlescent white with some metallic flake finish. You probably can't see the metallic. But anyway, what's going on here? Why do I have a front fork on the back of this bike? Well, that is, I actually patented it. The patent is pending. I get to find out about that in a couple of months. The examiner is looking at it. And we'll see if I actually get the patent. I did patent that front derailleur mount assembly. But about a month or two after, sadly, a month or two after I submitted the patent for it, I saw a bike online in Europe that used a virtually identical design. Yeah, and so the identical design, I was like, oh shoot. So when I talked to the examiner, I told him that, and basically I decided to not even pursue that part of the patent, simply because the whole idea was already done, and I don't intend to commercialize this, but you know, we'll see what happens. I don't think it's been patented in the United States, but he searches anywhere, and so I did not patent that part, even though I did think of it independently. So then the next part of this, the patent that's still remaining, is the rear fork, which is removable. It's a front fork attached to the rear, so that you can, it's called a removable rear wheel support. And why would you do such a thing? Why would you make this fork be removable? It slides through this little head tube piece here, and you can detach it. Why would you do that? So right now I have a steel fork. Steel is fast and hard, and I might someday want to have a different type of ride, different feel. I might want to use carbon fiber and be fast, light, and a little bit softer. I can also change out the front ones. Or I might, in the rear, want to use a front shock absorbing fork in the rear. And so I did it that way so that you could go to the store and you could buy a pair of front forks and have a fully suspended bicycle without having to change bikes. So it's quite unique. I don't anticipate making a living off of building these things. I just don't. It was fun to build it. If I ever did that, it would just be for fun. I don't know. We'll just see what happens. Anyway, so I've got this part here extended out. This is part of the steer tube on the forks. I did that, left that long because I have a, it's used to attach a rack. You can attach a rack on here, clamp on a rack, and using that rack you can attach your touring bags to the back, and so maybe I'll do some touring on here. So that is that. Here's a little bit of detail about the headrest. This thing here, is this is the headrest mount piece. You can't see it now because my bag is over it, but I guess I could take my bag off real quick. Hold on, so I can showcase that. Okay, so this is the headrest mount. This is a adapted piece of material that I got from a camera tripod I found at a Goodwill store, a used equipment store. And so what you do is you put your this thing here will be used to hold a headrest. A pad is going to go right on here, and there's this little handle, a really nice quality handle here that allows this thing to slide out. You loosen that thing up, and then you got to play with it here. I don't want to pull it out. Why are you not helping me? That is loose. Okay. I had not moved it. I hadn't moved it since I made it, and it had some stiction in there. So you loosen that. You loosen this guy up like I did, and then this slides out to whatever height your head is, and then you tighten the so it can accommodate, you know, if it's for a shorter person, it can be here, For a taller person, it can be here or wherever, and then you just tighten this guy down. And then it's fixed in that position. Let me just fix it where it was so I can ride home. Okay. So here you can see where the seat support pieces attach. Right here and here. These, you know, obviously I made these out of aluminum, I think they are, yeah. And that is just about it. I'm looking forward to riding this a lot. I've ridden it a couple of times so far. 3 times to be precise. And it just keeps on getting better and better and better. So I'm really pleased with the Volk Spirit of Love. With the dangly bag off the back. Oh, and you probably noticed the wheels on the back have these 2 stripes. I sort of went with a double stripe theme. See the double stripe there, double stripe on the wheel. There's 1, 2 stripes there. That design I like. I think it looks really cool. And I'm gonna repeat it on the front and on the other side. What's on there right now is just to see how it looks. It's just white tape that I stuck on there pretty quickly, and I just wanted to see how I liked it. So now I know that I really like it. I will get it. I'll probably make some decals. Get some decals made or make them myself and put on there, because the decals, if I change my mind, I want to change a different color later, I can do that. If I paint it, it's permanent, and I don't really want to make it permanent because I might want to play with it. All right, well, I am about done with this video, and I am going to ride home now. I'm not going to ride all the way home, but I'll ride to where I park my car. It is such a beautiful day here in Seattle. This city is so wonderful. I'm going to stick this out here to see what it looks like. Is that as far as it goes, I guess? Huh. I'm just playing with it. All right, so this is, I'll see if I can stand and get the bike in there too. This is me and my bicycle, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm having a wonderful day in sunny Seattle, and I want to let you know that I love you, and I want you to know that you should always love yourself above all else, and love yourself unconditionally. Loving ourselves unconditionally can be really, really... My video stopped recording on me. I just have said loving ourselves unconditionally can be really, really hard to do. As a matter of fact, loving ourselves unconditionally is probably the hardest thing to do, but it is also the most productive thing that we can do. If we can learn to love ourselves unconditionally, then we can also love others unconditionally. And if we can love others unconditionally, as well as ourselves, and if everyone did that, then we would have world peace. That's why we should try to love ourselves unconditionally first. Then we can love others. If we don't love ourselves first unconditionally, then we can't love anybody else unconditionally, because we don't know how. We are the most important to love first. Love ourselves unconditionally. You may be ashamed of things that have happened to you in the past. You may be ashamed of feelings that you have. You may be ashamed of thoughts that you have. You may be disgusted with yourself. But it's important to know that just because you have some feelings or thoughts that you feel are shameful, they are only feelings and they're only thoughts. Everyone has feelings and thoughts that pop into their head. And that doesn't define you. It's not who you are. I believe that I am love. I believe that you are love, that we are all love. And we are not our feelings. We are not our thoughts. Stop feeling for a moment the things around you. Stop thinking, and you quickly realize you're not your feelings and thoughts. All right. Goodbye. See you soon. I wanted to, I am now at home, and you can see my home in the background there. My ears are popping because I live a little bit higher than sea level. I was mostly at sea level today. I wanted to make a few comments about my bicycle and interject it somehow in the video. I don't know where this will go, but I just wanted to have a complete thought about the recumbent bicycle today. So I built a recumbent bicycle because my lower back, my neck, arms, wrists, shoulder, back of my neck get sore after about an hour and a half, as I mentioned somewhere in the video. I was on my bike for about 7 hours today. I have no pain at all, none whatsoever. The only discomfort is, from pedaling most of the day and going up and down hills, and a little bit of a frustration around my bike, just as the fine-tuning stuff that I mentioned. The disc calipers, the disc brakes are not tuned correctly yet, and so they were actually braking while I'm pedaling, which was really quite frustrating. But it wasn't so much that I really felt it severely, but it'll be a nice thing to have once they're totally not braking me at all, because that's a very frustrating experience. And it seemed to get worse as the day went by. I think something I had done to try to fix it actually made it worse, because it came loose or something. But I will play with it and see how that goes. But anyway, that's why I wanted to build a recumbent bike. And I'll pan around so you can see my yard, or where I live anyway. That's why I wanted to do it. Now, you noticed that the recumbent bike that I built is a front-wheel drive recumbent bicycle, which means the chain goes to the front wheel and not to the back wheel like normal. Why did I do that? I did that because I thought that I just don't like having the chain go from the front all the way to the back, a really long chain to the back with a little wheel. You've got to have a wheel or something in there, or some guidance and stuff like that to get the chain to the back wheel for power. I thought, oh, that's going to be heavy, and I don't like the way it looks, and so on and so forth. So the front wheel drive has a very short chain, as you saw, probably shorter than regular bikes. The trade-off there is that the handlebars have to be connected to the front wheel to steer, right? And that means that your pedal and chain have to be connected to the front wheel to power them, and they therefore also have to pivot with the steering. So if I turn left, my wheels goes left and my feet go left. If I turn right, my feet go right as well. And so when I pedal, when you push, it does this, left and right. And so you have to continuously have your hands on the handlebars to control that. Unless, I've seen some people riding a front-wheel drive recumbent with no hands. I guess maybe after a long time I could do that. I can go for maybe 15 feet while I'm pedaling like that. So I think it takes a long time to learn it. So with a rear-wheel drive recumbent bicycle, that won't be a problem whatsoever, because the rear-wheel drive recumbent bicycle will be just like a normal bicycle. You pedal and the power goes to the rear wheel, and the front wheel is completely independent, and there'll be no force reaction. So that'll do a couple of things for you. That allows you to, I'll have to continue to turn around here. That allows you to ride with no hands and pedal with no hands. I love to do that. That's a lot of fun. And maybe I'll get there on this bike, but it's dangerous. Whenever you push with your foot at all or adjust your foot in any way, it steers the bike. So I'll be riding along, and this has really diminished as a problem and it will continue to diminish. But when I am riding, and if you do any adjustment, you're steering the bike with your feet. And so I'll be riding along, and you got to be mindful of it, because otherwise you twist and you could really crash. So that's why I think I will like the oh, and you can see in my car, you can see that the bike folds in half. That makes it nice and easy to pack. That's a big bonus for a front-wheel drive recumbent. You can't do that with a rear-wheel drive recumbent, because that doesn't fold. The front end doesn't bend. Okay, pros and cons of my recumbent over a regular bicycle. Huge, 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 huge difference in comfort. I mean, total night and day difference. As I mentioned, I rode it all day long, and I had no discomfort. Just checking the time on it records every, it's not much data left on the phone, so it's limiting how much time I can record. Massive difference in comfort. For some reason, I don't know why yet, it could be because it's heavy, it's slower. It's just slower, especially uphill, it's slower. And even on the flats, it has been a little bit slower than I would have anticipated. I pass people, but I'm not passing fast riders. I can keep up with fast riders, but it could be related to my brake problem, and it probably is. So I will have to figure out what that is. This bike, by the way, is 9 pounds heavier than my Trek, or 10 pounds heavier than my Trek carbon fiber bike, my Trek Madone. Let me check the time again. Okay, I have 1 minute left on this thing, which is really good actually for a steel frame long recumbent bicycle like I've made, using steel disc brakes and the heavier hubs associated with that. That's really good. So I'm thinking of changing it to caliper brakes, just normal caliper brakes, and that will probably shave off probably about 5 pounds. So then it'll only be 5 pounds heavier than my Trek Badone. Granted, my Trek Badone has a thud buster, a seat post suspension thud buster. That's about 4 pounds. And I have a small light bike rack on there, which is maybe a pound at most, maybe a pound and a half at most. So that's really great, actually. And characterization of the ride, I want to talk about that a little bit between the Recumbent versus a normal, my Trek Badone. Apart from the comfort, let's just discard that absolutely massive difference. Totally discarding the comfort factor, pretending that that does not exist. The Recumbent is more fun going downhill. I suspect that that's a novelty. You know, if you've been riding a regular bike as long as I have, as you have, for 30 years or whatever it is, or actually I was about 6 when I learned how to ride a bike, so that would be over 42 years, 43 years. Riding a bicycle gets not as exciting. So riding the Recumbent is very novel, and it's a lot of fun. Going up hills are not fun because you've only got your legs there. It's a lot harder. And I was passed by even the, slowest riders going uphill. I haven't figured that one out yet. I think it has to do with somehow when you're up on your bike, on a normal bike, you're able to put some weight into your legs somehow at the right moment to give you an energy boost. I just found that I was so much slower uphill. Downhill, it was faster, much faster, way faster. And the normal bicycle is far more nimble. You are much more in control of yourself and the bicycle than you are in a Recumbent. In a Recumbent, you have no ability to dodge and weave, or here's a big bump, let me sit up for a second, or jump a curb, or there's a big bump coming. Yeah, I mentioned that already. I feel on my Recumbent much less in control, and much less able to respond in emergency. It just feels far, far less nimble. Because your body, you're not able to swerve quickly and all these other maneuverability things that you can on a regular bicycle. So I think that's a big detriment, actually. It's really too bad that you couldn't get as comfortable on a normal bicycle and be as aero as well. That's about it. I love the bike, though. It's absolutely beautiful, and if I do a second version, it'll be in carbon fiber or aluminum, something really light, and I'll go with normal calipers. And so I've got tons of projects going on. I'm in no rush to redo this bike that I just totally completed. I'm really loving riding it. It's a lot of fun. These are just observations, initial observations about it. I will say that this is my 3rd ride on it. This is my 2nd ride on it with the 20-inch wheels over the 700 wheels. It's gotten better and better each time as I learn to maneuver better and be more comfortable in it. Even on the ride today, when I finished my ride, I was able to maneuver far, far better. So there's a learning curve. If I get some extra cash, I might be looking at a carbon fiber Bachetta, normal rear-wheel drive Recumbent. Just because I wanted to say that unless you have some specific reason for wanting to build a bike or a recumbent yourself, just buy one. I knew that going into this. I didn't know how much I was going to end up spending on this bike, this recumbent. It cost a small fortune to build it. I can say this much: just the components that I purchased for it, which were decent quality. Everything except for a frame is what I basically got. I paid $1,500 for, which is a lot of money, and they're high quality parts, but still, I mean, there you go. I also think the guy who sold it to me gouged me quite a bit on that, but he was able to help me, and there was also some parts that he got for me that were useful, and he helped me to design it. So I think that's probably why it was that much. But just buying the parts, it's expensive. That doesn't include the my labor, my design time, and that doesn't include any of the materials and the sourcing and all that type of stuff. It's a huge amount of work, especially the first one. If you do it now the second time around, I could probably, do it in a much cheaper and much less time. But unless there's a specific design like I wanted to do, I would highly, highly recommend just buying one off the shelf. Doing the research to find, there's so many options, do the research to find one that really appeals to you, and then test ride it. Go to the place or somehow test ride the bikes and then see what you like. I did do some test riding, and I am very pleased with what I have. I just think on my second time I might be leaning towards buying one. I don't know. There were some emotional reasons why I built this. I wanted to prove to myself that I could, build this bicycle and or the recumbent. I wanted to go through the process of invention and then design and then build the whole thing. And I learned all about bikes. I'd always wanted to do that, learn and understand everything about a bicycle, which I now know. This exercise kind of forced me to learn and understand every detail about a bicycle. I know how to do the head tube and the bearing selection and the dimensions of all the parts that are involved, and the selection of what tubes and the seat post types and the head tube types and the steer tube types and the wheel hub types and all those details I had never known before. How to run the cables, how to connect them in there on one end and connect on the other, and all the different aspects of the design. Because I wanted to learn that so that I could do some touring and know how to fix and repair everything. The one thing I don't know yet is how to lace a wheel. I'll probably do that as a separate project, but everything else I know. All right, later.